Hello, I'm Michael Schachter, Senior Product Marketing Manager at Allot. Welcome to the Mobile Virtual Conference. Our next session is with Haggai Katz.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, Haggai. And he's going to talk to us about Allot Secure, our disruptive and hugely successful security as a service offering for CSPs that helps them enable their consumers and SMB customers to have a secure online experience. Haggai, take it away.
Thanks, Michael. So without further ado, let me start and discuss the Allot security strategy. So what is offered today by a communication service provider for providing security to the end customers? Mobile consumer sometimes get endpoint applications or the CSP is using DNS, which is very limited solution to protect the customers. Endpoint applications, what we see is that the penetration for endpoint application is very low. I mean, 1% to 5%, in rare cases they can reach 10%, but this is with very aggressive marketing. And the DNS solutions are based on only on DNS, and we will talk about the limitation of them later on. Now, endpoint application, as I said, not only that they have a very limited penetration because consumers do not like to download them, do not like to activate them. They don't like the CPU power that they consume. They don't like the performance degradation that they have. And a very important part of the limitation of IoT is that today there are many IoT devices, and the IoT devices actually you cannot install an endpoint application on IoT devices. They don't have the CPU for that. And the more IoT devices there, the more a challenge for endpoint application. So CSPs already knows this is not good enough. Now, they want to provide the service from the security service from the network itself. This is much easier, and this is what we are providing them. But DNS security, which they are using, is of course very vulnerable to consumers. They can bypass it very easily. There are many, let's say, malware and attacks that are not using DNS at all. They're just using directly IP addresses. And therefore, there is no visibility to block a lot of anti-phishing that are inside legitimate domain sites. So DNS will think it's a legitimate domain, but actually it's not. And just providing an OK security is not good enough in many cases. So endpoints are not good enough. Network-based security allows you the luxury of mass market activation. You solve the problem of endpoint, but DNS inside the network is not providing the goods. So by the way, we have seen in the market applications like Google Intra that can bypass the DNS of the CSP and go directly to Google DNS. I suggest to all of you to simply download the Intra application from Google and see how you can bypass easily with the Intra application the CSP DNS servers. So what is the strategy of Allot? Allot actually provide a complete suite of products that provide enforcement of security in different places in the network. So we have the network secure is located in the core of the network. So network secure completely in the network, no need for any user intervention, see all the data that comes in. Unlike DNS, this is an inline solution, so it is installed inside the network. It has feeds of antivirus, anti-malware from the cloud that is dynamically updated. And it provides the user a very friendly portal where they can actually change their own settings, put their own whitelist, blacklist, change their content criteria. So we can provide both parental control and, of course, protection against a variety of anti-malware and antiviruses and viruses. So another point of enforcement is the router at home. We provide two types of software, the Home Secure and the Business Secure. The Home Secure will protect the regular home with any type of device inside, and the Business Secure can be provide a further functionality for small, medium businesses. Home Secure and Business Secure are working on as part of the routers. They protect the router itself from attacks and at the same time provide visibility into the home, fingerprinting of all the devices at home, and protected all the devices at home, and you don't need any endpoint on the devices. You can do it from the router itself. So we have the Network Secure, which is inside the network, no endpoint is needed. We have the Home Secure, which is on the router itself, installed seamlessly. User doesn't have any, doesn't need to do anything. Again, completely network-based solution. And for customers that actually want protection where they are off the CSP network, we also provide an application endpoint as an option. We are working together with Bitdefender, but we can also work with other customers to provide a unified solution. In this unified solution, it is user-centric, which means that the user doesn't have to know if we blocked the attack on the home router, the handset, or from within the network. He is getting continuously engagement messages and reports showing him what we did for him, either when he's online browsing or via SMS or via emails, or a combination of all the channels. So Allot is actually the #1 market leader in this category of mass market network-based solution. We are running today 23 million subscribers in around the world that they are protected by us, and we are the dominant market leader for this category of mass market network-based solution, where the network is the asset and the CSP are the one that provide the service. As I said, we provide the full unified customer experience, single policy, unified reporting, and unified event handling, whether it is the network, the endpoint, the home, or an IoT device that is connected to the network. These are a few examples. These are a few examples of our unified management user experience. You can see that the user doesn't know if we stop the attack in the home or within the network. We can provide unified reporting, as you can see, how many threats were protected and so forth. We can actually show with our Home Secure the users, and we can show the devices per user. So we have parental control and content control per user at home. Each user can have different categories based on his age, based on the parent's policy. And for each one of the users, we can show exact devices, and per device, we can enforce policies. So this kind of application is an engagement application. It is not mandatory to run the service, but it is certainly good to provide a good engagement with the customer. It is an option for the CSP. Okay, so let's summarize the Allot value proposition for the service providers. First, we enable a premium suite of security services for the consumer and small medium businesses in the mobile and the fixed market. We believe that this kind of consumer SMB security service are going to be part of every offering of every CSP around the world. I don't want to go into all the data that support that. The market is already there. We are seeing a lot of activity there. We have many RFPs, I even don't have to make the case for the CSPs. They already have the business case for that. They know that they can differentiate themselves with the most secure network. And with our system, actually, the amazing thing is that we saw in some of our customers penetration rate of 50 and over 50%. Of course, it depends on the marketing policies and per country. But imagine that in some countries, 1 out of 2 customers is using the Allot Network Secure. This is really an amazing penetration rate. We also see that there is a very good satisfaction, NPS of around 30 or even more. And we see tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. Actually, Vodafone in a public statement alluded to about $160 million annual. And we think that since then it is actually higher than that. The unified platform that we provide to our customers is very suitable for CSPs that have a converged operation. So they have mobile and they have fixed, and they have home and office, and they want to provide a unified solution to their customers, converged customers, and our strategy is just to give them this option. So advancing to our latest security update, as I said, we are already with installed base of about 23 million subscribers in 10 different Vodafone markets in Europe, supporting consumer and small medium businesses. We are also supporting Telefonica consumer and small medium businesses. We launch in Dry in Austria, in Safaricom, and Iolo in Italy. And next in line for launch are Rakuten in Japan, Mio in Portugal, and the Central East Europe Tier 1 group, which we will announce soon. Few things about our Vodafone. As I said, Vodafone already are with a revenue of more than 160 million euro per year. We can see more than 50% adoption in some places. They take about €1 per month in most of the markets, and they get a very good satisfaction. We can see the penetration rates in some of the markets. Important to say that in all these markets, they don't need above the line advertisement. Everything is based on the network secure engagement tools and marketing tools. We are also providing to Vodafone reports that shows what's going on in the network, how many attacks, what type of attacks, how many attacks per user, how many users, percentage of users protected. And let me tell you, there's a lot going on in your networks. There's a lot of attacks, and we are very busy in protecting the customers. It's a very good service. This is an example of how Telefonica are marketing the service. They say that until now they had speed, latency, and coverage as their, I would say, parameters for how good is the network, and now they have another parameter, which is security. I do believe that security will become the fourth attribute for any network, mobile and fixed, in the future. Going quickly on some of the things that we see, we can see graphs of that we get very high penetration. This is a graph actually that shows 3% penetration in 5 months, which is not a lot, but it is only based on initial marketing in the shops, where they have 40 to 50% conversion rate, which is a very, very good number. Typically, you don't see in the shop anything similar to that. And here you can see in an SMB how we reach very quickly 2 digits penetration based on a buy and try marketing campaign. And this is without try and buy and without bundles or anything similar. If you put a bundle on that, you get much faster services. This is an example of a prepaid success story, and you can see that we reached in like 3-4 months about 12% penetration, and we are now really close to 15% penetration for the SMB. And I can say that we experience similar things also in Europe. This one is in Middle East. So what makes network secure a dominant in the cybersecurity market? First, it has the most advanced 2 basic services, functionalities: anti-X, antivirus, anti-phishing, anti-bot, which we believe we have the most comprehensive solution. I will not go into all the details, but you are more than welcome to talk to me. And then, of course, we have the most comprehensive content filtering, web filtering, and parental control. And on top of that, we have the engagement tools that we can actually notify users with landing portals, icon insertion, offline and inline engagement tools, which make the difference between us and others in the ability to sell to more people. These are just an example. This is an example of how it looks in dry. You can see landing pages. You can see congratulations and welcome to a trial and trial invites. And you can see on the right hand side also icon insertion on the top left of it, which the icon is showing here. Dry is protecting you. Many times I'm asked how complicated it is to do an inline solution compared to DNS. So guys, it's not so complicated. Actually, we have a lot of experience in that, and we have the capability to make a full integration and deployment in about 3 to 4 months, including integration with your operational support system and business support systems. And it works flawlessly. We have a lot of experience, hundreds of deployment of inline equipment. The other solution that I want to go a little bit quicker is the home secure. So there is a growing attack surface of IoT devices. As I said, there is no possibility to put endpoint on them. They could be at home or they could be in the business. IoT at home in the business is the next frontier of the attackers. Our research shows that if you are connecting an IoT to the internet, in 45 seconds you are attacked by bots that identify you and try to attack you. So that's how long it takes for any IoT device to be identified and attacked. So we are providing you several perimeters of protection. We are protecting against external threats. We are protecting against malware coming outside the network. We are protecting the specific devices at home. So if they are attacked already, we can quarantine them. We are protecting the IoT devices at home. DNS solution cannot do it. And we have a visibility inside the home and the business, so automatic fingerprinting of the devices. These are new capabilities, and we can actually, we are using AI and techniques to identify the type of the device. We can see if there's malware on that, even if the attack is using encryption. And overall, you get visibility into the house. You get analytics of what is going on in the house. Of course, with all the privacy rules are there. And of course, you provide attacks, protection against malware attacks. How it is done? So as I said, it is done first by putting an agent inside the router. Then we have servers in the cloud that provide dynamic update of the databases, of the threat databases. And we have an application on your mobile that provides engagement, that you can see the devices at home, you can see how secure your home network or business network, and you can configure, change names, and set policies. All in all, the key product advantages of the Home Secure, Business Secure is part of a unified solution, as I said. It protects the router without nearly no latency, zero latency, and we were tested by a lot by the CSPs to see that there is no performance issues. We are agnostic to encryption of DNS because we are looking inline and DNS at the same time, and we have full router hardening, so we protect against weak password, changes of DNS, and the open ports and so forth. We actually have antivirus. We are the only one that can connect the router protection and the antivirus engines in the cloud. We have a unique solution for that only Allot can do. We have a chatbot to do troubleshooting. So if you have a problem, you can chat with our chatbot, and he will find the troubleshoot of most of the problems that you have automatically. And as I said, automatic fingerprinting, and we also run on legacy routers. Okay, many people ask me about DNS. I'm not going to go on in details. We have a table here that discuss the DNS. Just to name few of the issues, DNS is going to be encrypted with the DOH, DNS over HTTPS, and it's going to be also diverted from CSP DNS by the likes of Google. So you take a big risk if you go for a DNS solution only. We think that there is a lot of botnet coming in, which is IP based, so there is no DNS at all, so you cannot protect it. And phishing is many times done under legitimate DNS, legitimate domains, and it will be difficult for DNS to identify it or to block it. Maybe they can identify, but they cannot block the full legitimate domain. And there's a big list. I don't want to go to all of that, but basically we also provide inside the network with the capabilities to provide firewall and DDoS as well for small medium businesses. That can be very important. So again, I encourage you to call me so I can explain to you the details on that. Very important is our commercial model. We have, Michael, we have a new commercial model that is accepted by the carriers. And we actually invest everything that is required to put the service in place. Hardware, software, professional services. We provide full marketing support. We will send our marketing experts to workshop and to discuss and to show the experience we have around the world. How to do the go-to-market, what is the right pricing, what are the right messages to the customer, and so forth. And we will support you up to the fact that there is a full service launch. And then we have a service revenue share. It could be 50-50. We can discuss the numbers, but that's the basic start. No setup fee whatsoever to the CSPs. We take it upon ourselves. And we risk together, and we share the success together. And since we are very confident in the success of the network, we are willing to take the risk. So we have actually quite nice tools that we develop to project security revenue. It takes into account the churn, the growth, the go-to-market, and the price, and we can play with the numbers. We know quite well to assess how much money and what is the penetration that you can get based on these parameters. So this is something that is unique to Allot. Not only that provide you the marketing, we provide you also tools to do your business case and to plan the marketing based on a mix of go-to-market deals. So that's in short why Allot is the market leader, the dominant player in the category of mass market security service provided by CSPs.
So thank you, Hagai, and it's a very interesting approach. And before we wrap it up, I just wanted to have a couple of clarification questions that I know you often hear from customers. One question, you described the revenue sharing model, and I should certainly understand how that could appeal. Do we have other options for CSPs who are not interested in that sort of model?
Well, we see a lot of acceptance for our model. So we think that it is a preferred model for the CSPs because they are always with the greatest and latest of the software, and we work together for their success. And therefore, we are not dealing with any. We can talk about revenue share. We can talk about nominal payment per subscriber per month, but typically it's a recurring revenue deal.
Okay. And just one technical question: there is this growing trend of encryption in the online traffic. So how does the Allot Secure solution deal with encrypted viruses or encrypted websites that you can't see actually what's
It's an
there?
excellent question, and actually there is a lot of attacks coming inside the encrypted traffic, HTTPS, and we are looking on the encrypted traffic mainly on the metadata and the certificates. We look on the SNI and the domain, and we have a threat database that provide us the capability to block threats that comes from bad domains. In addition, we are working on a technology that will also look with an AI on the patterns of sites, that even if the SNI seems legitimate, we can identify there is a malware operating there. Actually, most of the blocks that we do today are based on many of the blocks. I don't know how to say if they are the majority are on encrypted traffic. So we are very well acquainted for that.
Okay. So thank you, Hagai, and thank you all for joining us. There's a lot more to see on the mobile virtual conference, and if you have additional questions you'd like to get in touch with Hagai or some of our other experts, use the form to schedule a meeting, and don't hesitate to get in touch.